During the journey, a conversation took place between Zui Lan and Old Feng. Old Feng mentioned that Ning Feng indeed seemed as everyone had described, humble, polite, and calm. His official stance was that no expense should be spared to persuade him to join their team. Upon hearing this, Zui Lan asked, "Sir, do you think that despite all this, Ning Feng and the mysterious expert are the same person?" Old Feng replied, "It doesn't matter. Since Ning Feng wants us to see him as a student, then he is a student. Giving millions of crystal coins to a student, regardless of whether they care or not, would certainly not be considered inappropriate in terms of etiquette. If a student becomes a mysterious expert, it is unclear how we should treat them in the future, and no one can guarantee it. We must do our best now. The enemies are growing stronger, while we, as he mentioned, can only dream of receiving God's blessing and don't even have the qualifications to fight. Hopefully, the mysterious expert can become our strongest supporter." After that, we are shown Ning Feng, who is now sipping his coffee and thinking to himself, "The investigative skill that caused damage to the system yesterday might have been a god tracking my whereabouts. That god destroyed my absolute defense with just one attack, which means their power has also reached the level of a forbidden spell, making it very valuable and dangerous. My top priority now is to complete the 2 missions issued by the system. Naturally, repairing the system is a priority as I still rely on it to protect against detection by the gods." Now, Ning Feng will focus on the mission in the Trial of the Gods, where he must pass the trial to gain power for himself. I must also not neglect completing the trial. If I can't harness the power of the enemy for myself, it could become a threat to me, Ning Feng thought to himself. Then we see Duan telling Ning Feng, "I will gather any additional information that may be needed by you, sir." Ning Feng then said, "The internal structure of this trial rim resembles a tower divided into many floors. Because it hasn't been fully explored, the exact number of floors is unknown. The monsters inside are very powerful, far exceeding the monsters in other known strip rims. The current highest record is on the floor created and managed by Master Hsiu, president of the Azure Guild." Ning Feng thought to himself, "I am still unclear about the operation mechanism of the trial rim. If I accidentally trigger another forbidden spell created by the gods, it could reveal Evil Guard's identity. Even so, since this mission does not require my specific presence, I might assign this to someone else, including Duan." After that, Ning Feng said to Duan, "Have you watched the video of clearing the level?" Duan nodded and said, "Yes, I have." Ning Feng asked, "How many floors do you think you can reach?" Duan replied, "Maybe around the 10th floor. Ning Feng thought, "Although I am almost a 5th level expert, surpassing Duan's strength, Duan is one of my own people. So, I would only feel comfortable if he participates in the trial." Ning Feng then had the idea of arranging a special training session for Duan. Some time later, we see Old Feng, who is very surprised when he learns that the mysterious expert wants to send someone to the Azure Guild to participate in the trial. Zui Lan provides this information and says to Old Feng, "This is Duan's answer, and he also requests the use of our training room, stating that he intends to undergo an intensive training period." Old Feng says to Zui Lan, "I remember Duan has not yet reached the 5th transformation. Won't that be difficult for him?" Zui Lan confirms this, but Old Feng realizes that things are becoming very interesting. Yesterday, the presidents of the 7 major guilds all went to challenge the Rim trial, and something happened to them. Even Liu Yingzhen, that old fox, did not succeed. Zui Lan is surprised to hear this and can only say, "President Liu is the strongest in his country, and even he couldn't reach the top." Old Feng affirms, "That's very true, and that's why I'm very interested in the results of Duan's trial. I'm curious to see how far someone personally guided by the mysterious expert can go." With that enthusiasm, Old Feng reignites his passion, making Zui Lan realize that this is the price borne by a master who continuously burns his life. Zui Lan now doesn't know if there will be a way to lighten his burden. Some time later, they both meet with Duan and Ning Feng there. The people around them realize the presence of 2 powerful individuals, something the city has never seen before. Then, one of the women says, "I heard that President Liu of the Wu Guild also wanted to come but was stopped by Senior Feng." The captain also remembers that the boy in front of him is the one he underestimated during the first dungeon. Fortunately, he didn't defend Ning Feng at that time, or he would have ended up in a bad situation. Zui Lan says to Duan, "As long as the provided information is sufficient, this training room can simulate various combat environments. However, only individuals at the 4th transformation level and above can use it." Duan replies, "Captain, all the detailed information is here." Ning Feng says to Old Feng, "This is my first time visiting here." Old Feng reassures Ning Feng, "That's okay. If you want, we have higher quality configurations available." After that, Zui Lan starts providing various information to Duan, including the weaknesses of monsters clearly marked in the dungeon. More impressively, President Liu had just reached the floor and everything could still be found inside it. Then Ningfeng says to himself, of course, this Crep Prim was once attacked by Rimler, so I just need to take information from his memory. Who could know the weaknesses of the minions better than Rimler himself? After that, Old Feng says to Duan, Mr. Duan, do you have any objections if we analyze your abilities? Duan replies, of course, feel free to do so. I'm happy to offer guidance. Old Feng then says, you don't need to be so modest. By the way, there's something we really want to know. Did the mysterious expert ever mention whether Evil Guard will truly destroy the world? Zui Lan is shocked by Old Feng's statement. Duan starts to fall silent, seemingly finding it difficult to answer such a question. Duan recalls that he previously asked his boss, Ningfeng, whether Evil Guard would truly destroy the world. At that time, Ningfeng found it difficult to answer because he didn't want to reveal his identity to anyone. Even though Duan was one of his own, he couldn't say it lightly. Ningfeng then told Duan something, and now Duan tells it to Old Feng. Duan says, I previously asked the same question to my boss, and he answered with only 8 words. Old Feng and Zui Lan are very curious about what the mysterious expert said through Ningfeng. Duan then affirms, my boss casually said that as long as he is here, it will never happen. Hearing this, Old Feng firmly dismisses it. That's the natural disposition of the mysterious expert. Zui Lan also says the same. What kind of boss is he that he doesn't take Evil Guard seriously? Then Old Feng says to Duan, Mr. Duan, the Rim trial script is yours, so do your best. Duan then begins to explore the place, witnessed by Ningfeng and the others. Unexpectedly, Duan is thrown around and finds it difficult to defeat the monsters in the dungeon because they are so terrifying. At this moment, even though Duan has fallen, he does not give up. Now, a large number of monsters immediately attack him. Duan tries to anticipate with a protection technique. He manages to eliminate the monsters trying to attack him. Then, when Duan looks exhausted, Ningfeng says, Duan, do you want to come out and rest? Duan hears this and says, it's okay, I'll rest for a bit and then try a few more times. Duan then says to himself, this is an opportunity given by my boss. I can't disappoint him. Zui Lan then says, these monsters have undergone transformation. You can pass the test. Then the old man said to himself, according to Zui Lan, Ningfeng woke up at a very young age, but it only took him a few days to complete his first transformation. If he could achieve this, perhaps there is a miracle waiting to happen for Duan. Maybe his boss could break through the existing combat system. Could Duan unleash greater power? If so, it could be compared to a blessing from the gods. After that, it was Ningfeng's turn to speak to himself. I have underestimated this situation. I thought just knowing the monster's weakness would give me a chance to pass the test, but I forgot that humans have their limits, as do their equipment and skills. Even if I know the monster's weakness, if I can't touch it, everything is in vain. Now Ningfeng felt very worried. He could only say, if Duan can't pass the test, then I will ultimately have to complete it myself. At this moment, with limited combat experience, my only reliance is on a forbidden spell that poses significant risks if used. Then Ningfeng said, Senior Feng, Captain Su, I need to go now. School will resume next week, and I must prepare. Senior Feng, who heard this, said, of course, if you need help, let me know. Then Ningfeng started to move. He realized that he had to level up as much as possible before school started again. It would be better to obtain some strong skills or equipment to assist Duan later. Here, Ningfeng also realized that the best way to leave without being watched was with the flying scroll he had. Fortunately, he managed to obtain this and would make the best use of it. Ningfeng's figure started to move quickly, and he managed to arrive at a place. Ningfeng stood up right there. He saw a place he had to visit. This was one of the 2-wheel secret rims mentioned by Duan and was not currently under authority control, so he could do as he pleased there. However, despite this, Ningfeng saw signs of battle around. Ningfeng then rushed inside to see what was really in that place. Now, inside the place, we are shown the mutant human forces being slaughtered by the Demon Lord's troops. The demon minions said, Boss, did you just see that light? The boss now said, it looks like it was a flying scroll performed by someone. Could there be someone else trying to wipe us out again and end up dead? Now the demon troops were really excited. They said, these people are really asking for their deaths. All seem very confident. The boss now said, let them come. The more there are, the greater the offering will be to our honorable demon lord. Thanks to them, our demon lord has gathered enough power. Today will be the day of our honorable demon lord's arrival. The demon troops were really enthusiastic about it because the day they had been waiting for would finally arrive. Now we are shown one of the mutants who had perished. Fortunately, within the mutant's body was a reminder system that informed his comrades. Now, the comrade realized that the demon lord would soon arrive, stemming from the Rim script invasion. He told the captain, Captain, the mutants say that the Rim script on the mountain will face a Rim script invasion today. The captain was very surprised to hear that. Another member now said, the Rim script invasion will affect the nearest city first. That means our city, Changling, is in danger. They were now confused about what to do. The captain began to inform that the entire 4th troop had been annihilated. Even if we go there, we won't be able to stop the rim script invasion. In his heart, the captain also said the monsters in the rim script are very tough and the city's magic barrier can't stop them at all. Maybe we can't hold them all off. Then the captain asserted to the others, all of you, go back immediately and inform the authorities to evacuate people as soon as possible. Evacuate as many as you can. One of the subordinates asked, Captain, what about you? The captain replied, we don't have surveillance equipment, so we don't know when the rim script invasion will happen. I will stay here and report to you at any time. His subordinate said, but Captain, how can we let you go alone like this? The captain then firmly said, don't waste time. Go. The comrades were forced to leave the captain alone. After their departure, the captain could only say, why does it have to be today? It seemed he had started to resign to the situation. The captain began to contact his child and had a warm conversation. The captain said, hey, darling, there might be an emergency drill later, don't worry. Just listen to mom. The child asked, Dad, where are you? The father answered, I'm busy working. We'll talk later. Then the father hung up the phone. Shortly after, the child called again and the father had to answer it. The child said, Dad, why did you end the call? I haven't finished what I wanted to say. The father asked, oh, what do you want to say to me? The child replied, happy birthday to you, Dad. The captain was really touched to hear that. The members who had left the captain earlier also said, is the strong dark force a sign that the script rim invasion has begun? They all seemed very sad for abandoning their captain, but there was nothing they could do. The captain was truly in tears, showing his deep sorrow. Then we are shown the entrance to Script Rim, where the demon army is very proud because they are about to reach incredible power. They all believe the great demon El will bestow many blessings upon them. Next, we see Ning Feng, who has successfully entered the Script Rim realm. There, he obtained a book and activated his skill, the Extreme Frost Forbidden spell, which unleashed endless ice catastrophes. A cruel cold swept across the world. Ning Feng managed to conquer the monsters there with his abilities. Ning Feng also said, the experience points from the monsters here are quite substantial. I leveled up and learned some new skills. Ning Feng quickly learned something interesting that he would soon complete. We are then shown the demon army awaiting the arrival of the demon lord. They all eagerly welcomed the demon lord's arrival. Shortly after, something surprising happened as Ning Feng appeared there in a silly manner. Ning Feng seemed unaware of what was happening. Ning Feng's arrival shocked the army as well as Ning Feng himself. One of the army leaders asked, where is the demon lord? Unbeknownst to them, the demon lord had been frozen by Ning Feng. The demons realized that the figure before them was not the reincarnation of the demon lord or anyone they recognized. The demon army wondered, why is this man so different and bold enough to appear here alone? The leader realized that this man might be an opportunist trying to pledge loyalty to the demon lord. Fearing the strong dark force, the leader began to say, hey kid, are you here to pledge loyalty to the demon lord? Without hesitation, Ning Feng said, nothing. He didn't elaborate further. The leader heard this and asked, then why are you here? Ning Feng replied, none of your business. The leader became annoyed and said, enough with your arrogance. My name is Gurong, a class prison fugitive with over 100 lives in my hands. Hearing this, Ning Feng showed no fear and even threatened back, if you want to fight, let's go. Otherwise, get out of my sight. This made the leader even more furious, saying, damn it, you are courting death. Now the demon army truly wanted to kill Ning Feng. They all looked very excited and ready to finish Ning Feng off. But suddenly, the situation turned very dark, making them all scared. They wondered, what is really happening? Why did it suddenly change? They were not only shocked by the darkness but also by the terrifying appearance of monsters before them, which scared them even more. They exclaimed, what is that? This is insane. Now Ning Feng declared loudly, let me give you a glimpse of the forbidden spell that was just released. Note that this is an active skill, Sorrow of Abish, where Dark Forb and spell plunge the enemy into an illusion, revealing all their weaknesses and mercilessly tormenting them based on the current opportunity. Ning Feng also analyzed the leader's weaknesses, who now suffered the consequences. Ning Feng discovered a hidden shoulder injury from a long-term combination of wrong skills, left shoulder injury, % strength, % agility, and % skill effectiveness. With this revelation, Ning Feng said, wow, the list of weaknesses is very detailed. In front of this skill, all the enemy's weaknesses will be fully exposed. Ning Feng then started attacking, causing the leader great pain. Ning Feng said in the secret rim, I can follow my will and repeatedly attack the weaknesses of those trapped, like a demon toying with its helpless prey. No wonder it's called the sorrow of abuse. Ning Feng added, although this torturous skill is somewhat twisted, the ability to see weaknesses might be useful for finding ways to exploit them. Time passed, and the scene shifted. We then see the captain saying to his members, this is very strange. Although time has passed, there are no signs of the secret rim invasion on that mountain. Based on my estimation, I'll go there and take a look. He also told his comrade, it's no problem. After all, if an unexpected situation arises, I might not be able to avoid it. Dying at the foot of the mountain or on top of it, it's just a few more steps. The captain then began to walk, feeling very optimistic. When he arrived, he was shocked because he had no idea what was happening. He clearly saw that Gurong Bladov, the A-class criminal fugitive, along with his subordinates, had been completely wiped out. The members who heard those words then said, to hunt the Gurong, 4 teams of adventurers have been sacrificed and ended up like what happened yesterday. Now the man also said, Captain, what is the situation inside the secret rim? The captain said, it seems the secret rim has been covered by a huge ice storm and there are no monsters or demons alive inside it. Then a member asked again, what about the boss in that place? The captain tried to investigate, and when he did, he was very shocked to see the boss already frozen to death. This would surely end soon. He then asked, who could have done all this? Because this is clearly very difficult to achieve. Then the members asked, so, is he dead or not? The captain said, there are no item drops and no PO expired. He must be dead. The man could only say, so, is the invasion of the secret rim still happening even though he is dead? I am very confused about this. The captain was also very curious, but it was clear that the figure of the boss was truly gone. Some time later, we see Duan and Ningfeng having a discussion. Ningfeng said, Duan, are you still in the training room? Come back and take a break. Duan then said to Ningfeng, boss, I am stuck at this level. My abilities are not enough. I am ashamed to have disappointed your trust. Ningfeng, hearing this, said, it's okay, take a few days off. I mainly want you to understand the secret rim trial situation next week. I will arrange special demon training for you. Hearing this made Duan very happy. He said, it turns out the boss has not given up on me. Ningfeng emphasized, of course not. He will try to strengthen you, Duan. Duan became even more joyful. He said, boss, what do you want to eat tonight? I will order it right away. Duan then hurried to do so while cheering with joy. After that, Ningfeng began to play games on his phone to rest for a while, and when he played the game, he received a message from Senior Feng. With this situation, Ningfeng quickly checked it. Feng said to Ningfeng, want to rank up together. Count me in. I am an expert in tank tier and I will help you. Ningfeng, knowing this, then said, is this real, Senior Feng? Is your account being hacked? Senior Feng then said, it's really me. May I join the duo? With this situation, Ningfeng said, Senior Feng, he seems serious on the surface. But who would have thought he has a hobby like this? He is full of surprises. In the game conversation, they played and achieved victory. Ningfeng then said, Senior Feng, I did not expect you to be so good at playing online games. There, Feng said, I used to always play with my grandson, but now he is busy preparing for college entrance exams, so he doesn't play much anymore. And by the way, you both might be around the same age. Senior Feng also invited Ningfeng to play with his grandson if the 3 of them were ready. This plan was truly set. Then Ningfeng thought to himself, Senior Feng is an honest person and holds a high official status. If I build a good relationship with him, it could make things easier for me in the future. Not long after, Senior Feng said to Ningfeng, by the way, soon 3 prestigious universities are planning to hold a supernova training game to select outstanding students to participate. If someone performs well during the camp, they will be exempted from the entrance exam and great resources will be provided for further development. Senior Feng also added, I have 2 slots available here. Do you want to join this camp? Hearing this, Ningfeng began to think, previously, I thought having a forbidden spell meant I didn't really care about continuing my studies. But if I have to face what is called GS in the future without any combat experience, I am worried I will be at a great disadvantage. After that, Ningfeng said to Senior Feng, if you will go, yes. Feng said, I will keep both slots for you. If you have someone you know, you can invite them along. Ningfeng was grateful for this. In this situation, Senior Feng could only say, it turns out you both have a lot in common. He was referring to Ningfeng and his grandson, hoping they could become good friends later on. Time passed, and we are shown the city, specifically a high school, in the 3rd grade. There, the students said, this year not only prestigious universities, even regular ones have increased the requirements for combat majors. They also said they heard that many students who did not meet the assessment criteria graduated late or switched to non-combat majors. Others realized this and they all said, so, are we 3-star recruits no different from the useless 1-star and 2-star recruits like Ningfeng? They seemed to find it difficult to accept this reality. Not long after, the teacher arrived and announced, everyone, we have a new student joining our class. Let's all give a warm welcome and get along well with them. The new student then said, hello everyone. The class suddenly fell silent, and the boys stared in admiration. It turned out that the new student was Chang Mukyu. Seeing Chang Mukyu, Ningfeng realized she was the girl he had met at Secret Rim when his troops tried to cause trouble for Ningfeng's forces. The girl seemed very quiet and willing to do anything there. The students exclaimed, this is Chang Mukyu. Isn't she ranked 4th on the national supernova list? Didn't she attend a prestigious high school in the big city? Why has she come to a small place like ours? Chang Mukyu did not answer and quickly asked the teacher, "May I sit next to Ningfeng?" The teacher replied, "That's fine." Chang Mukyu hurried over to Ningfeng, making many students feel annoyed. They said, "Why Ningfeng again? Why do all the pretty girls like Ningfeng?" Now Ningfeng and Chang Mukyu were sitting next to each other. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the principal's office, we see Principal Zhang commenting to the principal of Ningfeng's school. He said, "Mr. Senior Feng, what method did you use to attract Chang Mukyu from our school?" The principal of Ningfeng's school replied, "Principal Zhang, calm down. I truly don't know what happened, and I didn't offer anything appealing." Zhang then said, "Senior Feng, Chang Mukyu not only left but also took a spot in the training camp. Do you understand how this can affect our enrollment rate?" In this situation, Senior Feng thought to himself, this year's training camp has only 4 spots for the entire province, and 2 of them are secured by our school. If we include Chang Mukyu, wouldn't that give us an additional spot, making it 3? No wonder Principal Zhang came to ask. "Now everything starts to make sense and gets interesting," he said. Shortly after, while they were talking, someone suddenly arrived. Senior Feng told his assistant, "Let them in now." His assistant then informed Principal Senior Feng, "Principal, someone wants to meet you. They said they couldn't reach you by phone." Senior Feng replied, "Who?" "I'm in a meeting with Principal Zhang. My phone is in my hand." To their surprise, Senior Feng from the Adventurer Management Bureau appeared. Feng then met with both of them. Feng said to Principal Senior Feng, "Hello, I'm Feng." Senior Feng thought to himself, he is a very impressive person, usually seen only on TV, and now I'm meeting him. Feng also brought his grandson, Senior Feng, who seemed to be enrolling in the school. Senior Feng also greeted the principal. Senior Feng then said, "Mr. Feng, how can I help you with all this?" Feng replied, "There are 2 main things I want to discuss. First, my grandson intends to transfer to your school to study." Hearing this, Senior Feng and Zhang were shocked. They realized that Senior Feng was ranked on the national supernova list and his profession was a dark knight. Based on news at the time, Senior Feng worried about losing control over his dark power, so he restrained his full strength. Otherwise, he might easily enter the top 5. With this happening, Zhang started to wonder, why did Feng's grandson choose an obscure school? Moreover, everyone on the national supernova list gets a place in the training camp, so doesn't that mean Principal Senior Feng's school suddenly got another additional spot? Then Feng said loudly, "Our bureau has 2 spots in the training camp, and we intend to allocate them to students from your school." Hearing this, Zhang was even more surprised. He thought, yes, why are all these people so strange? They live in a big province, and it seems like in such a province, they are falling behind this place. There are only 3 or 4 spots in total. What's so special about this school that attracts all of them? Senior Feng then celebrated in front of Zhang, saying, "Principal Zhang, sorry, but as you can see, I'm also quite busy here and I won't hold you any longer." Zhang was then escorted by Assistant Liu to leave the school immediately. Principal Senior Feng was very surprised to hear news from Feng, where Feng intended to allocate these 2 spots to Ningfeng from the 3rd level class. Senior Feng then said, "I remember correctly, Ningfeng just awakened not long ago. Can he still go to the training camp?" Feng replied, "This is the bureau's arrangement, no need to ask too many questions." Senior Feng said, "Well, we will fully cooperate." In his heart, Senior Feng thought the Adventurer Management Bureau is a special entity responsible for overseeing adventurers, operating independently with great authority and influence of Mr. Feng. Those who receive support have unlimited opportunities in the future. How did Ningfeng get involved in this? Then we returned to the 3rd level class. There, Ningfeng was sitting relaxed. He also seemed unhappy because his 3 friends were also in his class. Ningfeng then said, "How did you 3 end up transferring to my class?" A friend replied, "I wanted to be closer to the boss. I heard the school contacted Zone, but he decided to graduate, so the spot came to me, and you as the boss then gave another spot to Dasu. So everyone representing the school in this year's training camp is here." Not only that, but at this moment, a dispute also seemed to arise between Wang Yu and Chang Mukyu. Soon, a friend said, "So this is Feng. I've heard about you before." Feng replied, "Not slowly, please take care of me and everyone in the future." Wang Yu thought to herself, "It turns out I'm not the only one affected." Ningfeng said, "I worked twice as hard to earn the boss's respect." Now Chang Mukyu also said, "By the way, I've also prepared a special gift for the boss. I will look for an opportunity to give it to him." Right now, everyone is really surrounding Ningfeng. Other students are now commenting, why does Ningfeng have such a good relationship with the Supernova group? Even if we exclude Ningfeng, this lineup is still quite impressive, even among high schools across the country. They are all really hoping to chat with them. Not long after, Ningfeng also thought to himself, it's suddenly very crowded around here. What happened to Zoseng Akiyaseng? Previously, no one noticed his departure or investigated his disappearance. Then we are taken to the house of Zoseng Akiyaseng. There, his father is seen looking very upset. A subordinate said to the father, "Sir, there's still no news about the young master. Should we report this to the police or not?" The father, upon hearing this, said, "I have already found someone who can investigate this immediately. There should be news soon, let's wait a little longer." Shortly after, he asked, "How are things at school?" The subordinate said, "I requested an extended leave for the young master, saying he needed to attend additional special training." The headmaster felt very embarrassed to hand over his spot at the training camp, but he didn't ask many questions. The father then wanted to say, "Good. I will go check Zosang's room. Do not disturb me for unimportant matters." The subordinate understood these words. As the father stepped into Zosang's room, he managed to enter easily. There, the father saw many photos of his son displayed on the wall. Then, he placed his palm on one of the photos, and suddenly the door automatically opened. The father seemed to be about to do something very serious. He hurried inside, and the place looked quite eerie. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Ningfeng showed something. Ningfeng said, "This skill book is a drop I got some time ago. Look, is it useful for you?" "Yes, it will be given to Ningfeng. It's a summon water elemental." Ningfeng now asked, "Is that a summon spell?" Ningfeng knew that summoner was a very rare profession, so it was difficult to get this type of skill book, and it was certainly very valuable. Shortly after, Chang Qiu did not want to be outdone. He said, "Boss, I also have a gift for you." Chang Qiu gave a book called Blade of Enchantment, a battle magi skill. This made Ningfeng very surprised because battle magi was also a very rare profession, and the skill book was also very rare. Ningfeng now thought to himself, "I can't learn 2 skill books at the moment because before the start of the school year, I went to the secret rim to level up, but I didn't expect access to be denied now. To enter the secret rim, Ningfeng needs a team of 5 people to start." Ningfeng also added, "Because I didn't have enough information at that time, I ended up making a fruitless journey and couldn't open a new skill slot. However, these 2 skill books are very interesting, and I also need to find more people as sources of information in the future." Ningfeng then said, "Thank you very much for your kindness, but I'm afraid I have nothing to trade." Both of them fell silent at that. Ningfeng just said to them, "This is a high-level XP potion bottle. Each of you take half." With this happening, Chang Muku said, "I heard this is an exclusive treasure from the Azure Guild protected by their elite members." Salsa from Fengru also knew that this was highly valued at the auction house and rarely available. However, Ningfeng gave the bottle like it was nothing. Both of them now had to hold high trust in Ningfeng and were willing to serve.